Welcome back to Outdoor Guys. Today we're going to do another how-to video. We're going to do how to fish small ponds for bass. I'm also going to give you some bass fishing tips in there. If you haven't caught my other videos though, I've done a couple of these how-tos. Like I've done how to fish a Cinco, how to fish the Texas rig. I'll link them down in the video description below so you guys can go down there, and if you're trying to learn new techniques or you're new to bass fishing, go ahead and click on them. I really enjoy doing these types of videos and trying to teach. I'm still learning myself. I don't think we ever know it all, but these videos are kind of fun to do because, especially this one, guys, I love pond fishing. Like, that's basically where I learned how to bass fish. You can slow down, especially if it's like not a really highly pressured pond. You can really have a lot of fun. Farm ponds and stuff like that, guys, hold trophy bass, and you have a really good chance of catching a huge bass, so you never really know which one's going to hold that bass. So that's what keeps it fun for me. That's what keeps me going back. Having a private pond is like the best thing ever because you know, you don't have the fishing pressure other like public ponds and stuff do, but you know, really no matter where you're at, in most cases you can kind of Google Maps and see, you know, where a pond is, maybe find a new one. That's always, you know, fun to fish a new spot and, you know, see if it's got bass in it. So there's a couple different things you can do, but if you haven't subbed though, make sure you smash that subscribe button down. If you like these types of videos, leave me a thumbs up, guys, so I know. Also ring that notification bell so when I drop a new video, you guys will be the first to get notified. Also, if you share the video, it helps the channel out. So I'm going to try to get right into this without rambling too much. We all know I tend to do that, but I like to cover it all, guys. I like you guys to be able to take something from my videos and learn something. So I might go a little deeper than, you know, what the title is sometimes, but like I just like to try to give it my all. So all right, small ponds. So first I'm gonna start with like just approaching the pond, like walking up to it. I know you probably heard this before, but going up to it, you want to stay stealthy. If you go right up, walk up loud, right up to the bank, a lot of those bigger fish will you'll spook them. So give yourself a chance, try to stay back, make longer casts. Having a shorter rod, in my opinion, on ponds and stuff is definitely easier, guys. So like that's something to keep in mind too. If you're trying to get outfitted for like, you know, just pond fishing and stuff like that, going shorter will probably help you out a lot just because you don't know what kind of cover you're going to have. If it's pretty flat, you might be hitting your rod tip trying to, you know, pitch your lures into the pond and stuff like that. You just don't want to hit stuff and, you know, mess your stuff up. But so let's go ahead on to the next thing. Water temperature, the conditions, the time of year, all that stuff is going to play a role in like what you need to be throwing. You know, maybe we'll do some videos to go deeper into this. I'm going to try not to like dig too deep into this as far as like, you know, going down a rabbit hole. It's kind of hard not to without explaining this so you guys, you know, are comfortable with doing it. And like I said, I want you guys to catch fish. So whatever that takes, I'm going to do it. What you can try to do is, like, if you can kind of get close enough without spooking stuff, you can kind of look down and see what kind of bait fish the pond holds. Looking at the forage and stuff like that, guys, is, you know, a big thing on trying to figure out what you guys want to be throwing. So look down, see if there's bluegill in the pond. See if you see any crawfish. Things like this, you want to try to match the hatch and, you know, mimic what's actually swimming around in the pond because that's what the bass are eating. So a lot of the times, if you get a good eye on them, you can look at the color and try to match your bait to that. You know what I mean? So you know you're throwing the right stuff. But all right, let's go straight into soft plastics, and we're going to start with color. And I'm going to keep this super simple. Black and blue for stain the muddy water. Green pumpkin for more of your clear type water situations. I'm going to try not to complicate it for you guys. I'm guilty of it myself. I got a ton of colors, but I just like to have options. But that's really all you need. That will cover you really no matter where you go and fish. So, alright, so we're going to go right into a couple soft plastic baits that I would recommend to you guys if you're not sure. The Guggen baits like the Kraken Crawl, the Bandito Bug are definitely awesome baits that I use a lot. Also like a Cinco or a Lunker Log, any type of stick bait. You know, you really can't go wrong doing that, but that's a few of my favorites and that I fish with. A Texas rig is, to me, probably the most popular in a pond, just because it's so versatile. Like for example, like if you put a crawl on a Texas rig, you can, crawl it on bottom real slow, just, almost as slow as you can go, just enough to get the action going, but you can feel the bottom, the contour, the rocks. If you get snagged, you pop it out of there. That'll create a reaction strike. That'll get you bit. So like the Texas rig is really popular because there's so many different ways to fish it. So instead of just like the traditional way of Texas rigging, you throw it out there on a little weight, and that's another thing that's going to lead me into, guys. Depending on how grassy the ponds are, a lot of them have a ton of grass, so you can either try to go weightless or you can go with a real light tungsten bullet weight. And you kind of you don't want to go all the way to the bottom of the grass where nothing can see it. You don't want to be too heavy either, where you're digging down in the mud and they can't find your bait. So let me back up a little bit. So just like a hop, so you let it go out there, let it drop, hit bottom, hop it twice, let it fall, reel up the slack, do it again. Switch your cadence up, try to find what the bass like. I feel like that's the most common way people fish the Texas rig, but you can also kind of drag it. You can drag it, reel up your slack, drag it again, reel up your slack. That's another way. So you got the traditional way, you can drag it. You can slowly reel it, like I was saying, on bottom. And then another way, you can just swim it. Like you can swim it, swim the crawl through like mid-water column. This will also help you find out, where the fish are holding and where they're eating bait. So, if you're not getting anything there, another really fun way is to just, throw the crawl out there, the Texas rig, and then kind of burn it back to you, not too fast, not too slow, just on the surface of the pond, like as top water. Like they will come eat a crawl on top. That's super fun. It's one of my funnest ways to fish. Another technique for you guys to add to your arsenal when you're out there on the pond, trying to figure out what they want. So, but there's nothing like that top water blow up. So, like I said, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole because this video, you could talk forever about this, but I'm going to try to just point out the most important things, leave you guys with that, and move to the next. Okay, so right into the next thing, we're going to talk about like where to cast. So like when you get up to the pond, look around, see if you see any laydowns or wood or cover. They will definitely hold bass. A couple other things, drains, wherever the dam is in the pond is usually the deepest part of the pond, so keep that in mind. Any type of fountain or pipe, like I said, drains where you got some type of water flow and oxygenated water. Bass love those types of things. So anything that sticks out that, kind of doesn't look like, it's normal in the pond, maybe a branch sticking up or a log. In my case, the farm pond I fish a lot has a big island in the center of it, so I'll pitch to that and the bass will hold around that as well. Shade is a huge thing, especially in summertime when the sun's beating down on the bass. They can go under overhanging tree branches and stuff like that, and they'll sit under there right where that shade is, and you can throw your bait right in there. You're going to get bit doing that type of stuff. So that's just a couple key things to help you when you're fishing ponds, like what to look for. If you can see down into the water, you can see some type of structure on the bottom, whatever it may be, just throw it at that and see if you get bit. So back to the Texas rig that we were talking about, you're going to cover all the water columns. So you got bottom, mid, and top. So that thing is just super versatile, like I said before, so you can cover everything with the Texas rig. Another big thing with ponds, guys, especially in the summertime, is you want to fish early morning. Late afternoon, early evening. The bass, especially the bigger ones, feel more comfortable moving in low light, and they'll come up into them shallows. So, like, that's a huge thing. The temperatures, it's not as hot. The bass want to move around more. They want to eat, and like I said, they feel more comfortable. So just keep them times in the back of your mind as well. That'll definitely help in catching some more fish. You can also now, with that, I find myself out there a lot midday. I don't know why I always do this, like the hottest part of the day. You can definitely still catch fish, but it's going to be a little bit harder. Another tip is when you go to the pond, cast parallel to the shore, guys. Like a lot, you know, you want to fish also, really important, you want to fish the spots before you walk up on them. You know what I mean? Like, see if there's fish there, and if you get bit. If not, then you can move. But, you know, you want to cast, fish that spot, then move up there. But, you know, like I said, cast the shoreline, see if you can pick some bass off of there. Also, don't be afraid to, like, throw out into the middle of the pond. There might be a piece of structure down there that you can't see, and the bass are holding down there. So, you know, you definitely want to cover everything. Like, take your time. Don't rush, you know, and really pick the pond apart. I think, you know, pond fishing is great for beginners too. If you're just getting into bass fishing, it's a great way to learn new techniques. Anybody can catch a bass too in these ponds, guys, so like don't let nothing deter you. Even if you just go out there and throw whatever, like just going fishing, you always pick up something from that. And pond fishing is pretty easy, guys, so a lot of people do it. It's an easy way to catch fish, and you can definitely catch a hog. So like it's definitely one of my favorite ways, you know, to bass fish. So I'm always down to hit a pond whether I've been there or not. You never know what you're going to catch, so it's a lot of fun. Ponds hold a lot of crazy things, guys. So like, you know, they got snakes in them, you know, lizards, obviously fish, you know, frogs, worms. Crawfish is a big one. So like any kind of creature bait too. All these things will catch bass in ponds, guys. They have even crazy things like, you know, anything that really swims, bass will eat. So you see the crazy lures in the stores and all like that. So like, you can basically try any of those things and catch bass. So don't overcomplicate it. Like a lot of crazy stuff is going around in the pond. So like if you can imitate any of that stuff that the bass are eating, you're probably going to get bit. So I just wanted to kind of go over some of the crazy things in ponds. Another thing too, real quick, like no matter what you're throwing, if you're having problems getting bit or you're struggling with a bite, just downsize your bait. A lot of the times, you know, that'll fix the issue. So I just wanted to give you guys another tip. You know, depending on what you guys are fishing, you can always downsize. I think that's it for now. If I forgot something, drop it below down in the comment section. And if you guys have any questions too, just go ahead and put a comment down there and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash the subscribe button before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if I did a good job. Ring that notification bell too so you get all my new videos as soon as they drop. I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, you have officially been outdoors.